Okay, so you obviously played for quite a few years, over 10 years. So for our young players, why is taking care of your body so important? Because you obviously had, as a running back, you definitely had to take care of your body.
Absolutely. I took a page out of um, the great James Harrison out of Pittsburgh Steelers playbook, mixed in with a little bit of Jerry Rice, and that is uh, the way I took care of myself is nutrition. Nutrition is huge, but yet outside of nutrition, I was, you know, I tried my best to give every ounce of energy that I had on that football field, which meant that there was many games where I was the last one coming out of the stadium. I was, literally sitting on the ground at the end of games because, not because, I was lazy or not. No, it's because I literally played so hard that my legs were tired. So a lot of people didn't see me in VIP tents. That's because the moment I got out of the stadium, I went straight home and I jumped in the ice bath. And I did a lot of hot cold treatments to kind of rejuvenate my body in that regards. And then on Sunday, I was back on the bike at the gym to kind of get the blood flowing again, or I
Right.
was in the swimming pools and I was doing some kind of other rejuvenational workouts
Right.
or active rest day workouts, if you will. And that's kind of where I literally started to research more via YouTube and other sources, and try to understand more about the body. And then I got connected into chiropractic work.
Okay.
And so seeing weekly, maybe once or twice a week, a chiropractor was huge for me because it allowed me to literally keep my body as a running back. You're being twisted and turned and hit on every single play, whether you're pass protection or whether you're running the football. It's literally one of the most, if not the most active position outside of linemen. So you have to literally take care of your body.
Right. So just based on your experiences, what advice would you give to young players about taking care of their bodies and following their dreams? Because you definitely had
It was tough.
I guess you can say bumpy road
Yeah,
as
yeah,
far as before
absolutely.
you came over to Europe
Absolutely.
in terms of following your dreams. But you stayed on course.
Yeah, to speak it now for the youth now. One of my favorite artists that I used to listen to from gosh back in like 2012 2013. Me being a West Coast guy, and having friends from LA to Compton to the Bay Area, and just all of California and so on. A buddy of mine put me on the Nipsey Hussle, and to be inspired and understand his message, and understand that life is a marathon, and that you just have to not stop. You will definitely achieve what you set your mind out to achieve, but that's just a matter of not quitting. And I think all the greats thought like this, or still think like this. The greats aren't the greats because they got kicked down and fell off the horse and said, you know what, I'm tired of riding. They got back up, dusted themselves off, and got back on that horse and kept going. So that entire mind frame and understanding what his message was something that I had incorporated into myself back in 2013, 2014, and so on. It's a marathon, man, and you got to just keep going. You got to keep knocking doors down, and then hearing my father say, you know what, when one door closes, another door or another window opens. You just have to keep searching through the house for that open door or window. So this understanding of never giving up was instilled in me at a very young age. But for those where I would say that they haven't heard that message, it's for me to tell you right now, never give up, because it's the old story of taking a shovel, and I'm pretty sure kind of some people have heard this story of taking a shovel. There was a guy who took a shovel way back when in the early gold rush era, and they're sitting out in the near of San Francisco, at that time, and the guy takes a shovel and he's digging, and there's no gold. And he gets tired. Him and his brother, they spent all their money moving out west to hit gold, and they didn't find anything. And so on the very last attempt, he hits nothing. But it was him saying, I'm done with this. And he takes his shovel, he lays it to the side, and him and his brother go at least another 50 or 100 miles further. And the next person comes up and they see that same shovel and they see that same hole, and they say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and keep digging. I'm going to finish this hole. And they took one hit, one strike, and he said, wait a minute, I hit something. And when he dug it out, it was a pot of gold. So my point with that analogy is that never give up, because that moment you think there's nothing there, your next run, your next track meet, your next time you touch the football may be the run that allows a recruiter at that moment to see what you've done and say, you know what, that kid right there is that gold box. So you have to keep on the trail, on the path. Again, you know, life is a marathon, man. You know, and we just all have to keep running our race, is what I would say. Don't try to run anybody else's race. Run your own race, and that within itself would allow you to be successful.
Okay. All right, so we'll finish up with this question. So what is one important thing that football has taught you? It can be the most as well. If it's the most important thing.
I wouldn't say I would say the value of, you know, I always tell people, you know, football is like life and work. You know, you learn so many things about yourself and skill sets. You learn about how to socialize. You learn about, you know, people. You learn about how to build relationships through, and I don't want to say just, you know, always through football, but through sports in general, team activity, sports. You learn how to build relationships with people and so on. And one of the things that it taught me is to, you know, how to be a team player, and taking that of how to be a team player, because again, if I don't do my job, you know, if my job is to block this linebacker that's coming and I don't block him, then the quarterback gets sacked. So I have to do my job. And if I see the linebacker coming and the offensive lineman sees him and he switches over to pick up my job but yet forgets his own job, then I have a problem. So understanding, you know, how to operate within the team allowed me to, once I decided to be fully retired and leave the sport and go into the business world, allowed me to work at sorry about that. Allows me to but I get that a little bit later, but allows me to you know, be a team player at my own company and what we do. To understand that, okay, if I do my job and he does his job and she does her job and, you know, so on, the company will continue to be successful and will continue to rise. So definitely being a team player was one of the main skill sets that I've learned from you know, playing football. But, you know, relationship is huge, man, because I've met my best friends through the sport. And that's something that I would never trade in, you know, for anything, you know. The love and respect that I've received in the process has been, you know, hugely gratifying. You know, and this is just, you know, this is my journey, you know what I mean? And I'm extremely blessed to be able to go through those, you know, highs and lows, because now as our children are getting, you know, older, I am able to utilize my experiences in my career or in my life to help better also our children as they go through their sporting path. But even let's say if it's not about them, if it's just about me as a coach, then it's for me to also rely on those experiences that I've had as well as when I'm talking to my athletes and say, hey, look, we always, kind of like how I tell my son Jordan is, we always, here's our goal, but we're going to go further than the goal that we've had set. So if we have, let's say 5 200s to run in terms of training, right? We have 5 200s. We're going to do 7. You know what I mean? On the list it says 5, but we're going to do 7 to teach that mind frame that you can always do a bit more. And, that doing so, rather be doing a bit more for your neighbor, doing a bit more for your friend, doing a bit more for a family member. Always go the extra mile for those who deserve it, and that is something that I utilize and instill with them. And I've learned that from football. I've had great coaches in my past that also have said, hey, Jay, come on, man, you can do a little bit more. And it's like, yeah, you're right, I can. So, that was my deal, man. And I want that message to be definitely brought to everybody that, hey, listen, never give up, continue to work hard. It is not easy. But then again, do you want it to come easy?
Right.
Because as easy it comes, the easier it, goes. And I've never been someone who always, wanted the easy path. It would be nice from time to time, but I've been so accustomed to, grinding it out and just making it work that at the end, people will look at it like, oh, that was easy for you. I was like, yeah, it looks that way, but I had to work with it. So stay at it. Continue to, work hard and first and foremost, as my father would tell me, as I tell my sons as well, first and foremost, give your honor to the man upstairs, to God within itself, because without Him, we are definitely lost within what we want to do, and that's how my beliefs are set. It's a lot of the things and everything that I do first and foremost involves prayer. And prayer for me is and believing in Him is number one for me. Not looking at everybody else because everybody else is not in my box. It is for me to make sure that my family achieves their goals and their successes, and make sure that they are on their path. But it's first and foremost starts with prayer, and then after that, then we set our tracks and we go. So stay at it. Do whatever it takes for yourselves to continue that path, and never let anybody tell you that you can't.
Right.
As you can see from my story, that was my high school. If I would have listened to them, I would not be here today. But that's the way my story is.
Yeah.
So stay at it. If people tell you no, that means that's a yes on the other end of that.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing your story with us. We appreciate it. Again, we appreciate you welcoming us into your home and just being willing to take the time to share your story with us.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. I hope I didn't bore anybody, but it's been a pleasure, man. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to, to many more opportunities to be able to speak with you guys, to be able to reach out to those. Again, if anybody has any questions by any means, I'm available. I'll definitely will give you the information. You could probably say link is in description, something like this or rather. But for anything and everything, I'm here. If there's track and field questions, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm also a track and field coach, if you can see from my past. If there's anything in regards to how to get involved with the GFL, or how to get involved with European football in general, I'm here to help and support anybody and everybody. Again, you don't have to focus on just playing in the NFL. You don't have to focus on just playing D1 single A football, because as the year 2020, as we are here, NFL goes to every university, whether it's a big university or a small university. Scouts are everywhere. You just have to really maintain your focus and continue to drive towards your dreams, period. And somebody will definitely see you. And that's the way I go about it. So continue your drive, continue your motivation, continue your training, continue your nutrition, continue your rehabilitation in terms of getting the body back up on its course, and just continue to go at it. Yeah. And at the end of the day, come to Germany. It's the best place.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
You got it.